Hey y'all, how's it going? I'm trading the ES futures on a 2000 tick chart with a 21 EMA. So I've got the overnight high up here and the overnight low down here. These are our key levels for the day. So starting off, the overnight high, this isn't the absolute high of the overnight, but this is clearly where you got some resistance stacking up there. And then I adjusted it around a bit. I tried different places for it just to be safe, but this ended up fitting the best, so I left it there. Now we have these two legs out pushing at the overnight. I started trading just as we were pushing up to this high. This high is around 815 right here, and so which is pretty close to the market open anyway. So that's why I still liked it here, where there was clearly more resistance. So anyway, when you have two legs up pushing out of an overnight high or pushing out of a range, this is where you want to look for an entry to fade after you start pushing below the EMA. So when we start pushing below the EMA, I want to see a reversal pattern, which is a failed second entry. That would be the most ideal trade in this area, but we don't get that. We just keep pushing on lower here. Now, we retest the overnight high here, but this is just one sharp move down. It's like a big first entry. You don't want to enter long on that. Now, when you get this lower high here, there's a reason I don't like this lower high. And that reason is because we just came off the overnight high. So when you retest the overnight high, that's a very strong, that's a key level. That's an important level. So you can expect price to possibly really bounce off of it. And so when I see just one, first entry, that's not good enough because that's not even a second entry, because if you get two legs up, then you can expect that the move could be done. But you could easily tick lower, make a second leg up, and then say you ticked lower there and say you pushed up and got stopped out. That would be a bigger picture failed second entry to look for another short to continue the fade. So one bounce off the overnight is not enough. Price moves in pairs of twos. It's not always going to move in pairs of twos, of course, but when you're coming off a key level like that, you can expect it to. So it's not good to just enter on a first entry like that. Anyway, so we push down here. So now we have this first attempt to fade and then second attempt to fade. And then the problem with this, you can't enter on that because it's not off of any support. It pushed through the support. Now, you have this measured move in play, and so when you push below the support level like that, that's telling me, hey, it's more likely to reach this measured move down here. It might try to reach that. And so, unfortunately, I could not take that here. What I was hoping for was we push up and we get some higher low or some kind of failed second entry, but we continue pushing higher here. We didn't get the higher low till up here, but we could have gotten something smaller picture, but nothing set up. So here we have this first leg up, we break, and so now notice this. Notice how we have these two legs out, and then we have two legs back, and then we have one leg up, and now I'm expecting to make that second leg back up. So it's two legs up, two legs down, two legs up, because the market moves in twos, so it's common you'll see stuff like this. Now there's one thing you have to consider though. On a bigger picture, these two legs right here are really just one leg. Once because like I say all the time, price action levels get bigger as more time goes on. At first you would see two legs, and then you zoom out, it's pretty clear to see one leg. And so rather than saying two legs up and then a reversal and then a separate two legs up, you can clearly see these bigger picture two legs up right there. So I know that this right here, after we push up right there, we're starting to make that second big leg up right there. So let me copy this measured move over. So I know that we're starting that second major leg up right there. So when we correct like this, hold above the EMA, and we push back above the EMA, I know that this is an entry to continue that second leg up right there. Now, considering we just retested the overnight high and we had a pretty good bounce off of it, that's telling me that this is a strong level. We're breaking out here. And so when we get this higher low right here, even though we pushed below the EMA at first, we did end up pushing back above pretty far. And there's really no reason not to go short, because when you count this as one leg, this is a break right here. You can see it as first entry short, second entry short, failure. So this is a big picture failed second entry. It kind of looks a little bit confusing because you have this right here, but remember, on a bigger picture, this is one leg, this is one break, and this is the real first attempt higher. Because when you have a huge up move like that, you have a break, I'm not counting that right there as the first attempt higher. I'm not looking at it like uptrend, break, first attempt higher, second attempt higher. I'm looking at it as uptrend, break, first attempt higher, second attempt higher, because this break, including both of these legs right here, is relative in size to this big push up with these two legs. So yeah, just study like the price action levels getting bigger and then combining legs with each other. Um, that's how you start to see the bigger picture trades right here. So anyway, we continue that second leg up right there. We have clear 2 legs out. We can still get a bigger picture reversal. Just like here, we had these 2 legs out and then we had a small reversal. We can expect to see the same thing here, except on a bigger picture. And, oh, whoops, I didn't mean to. There we go. So anyway, we start rushing below. Once again, ideally, you'd look for a failed second entry. You can see this right here, first entry long, second entry long. That's a real small picture going straight down, no pullback or anything. So I don't like that. So the way I view this is we have this push down, and then we get this failed second entry. So first entry long, second entry long, failure. It's a big picture, failed second entry. It's the perfect area for a reversal pattern. Now, I do think this is a good trade. Unfortunately, it did lose. It's not, obviously, these big picture trades are not going to work out every single time, but look at that. First entry long, second entry long, failure, 2 clear legs up, very bearish red bar. I think that looks pretty good. I did get hit, and then unfortunately, fortunately, there was an entry right afterward, but unfortunately, I did not get filled on it. So if I were to have gotten in, I would have made that up double right there, nearly double. And so, unfortunately, I got left behind. I don't know why I put my limit order so far back. I kind of saw this double bottom right here, and I got worried. I knew that, no matter what, even with the limit order, I'd be pushing it out of it. And I really wasn't too concerned about it, which is why I feel bad for putting my limit order back so much. But I was expecting that price could reach the overnight high, and so, but I did have some concerns about this, but I shouldn't have been so concerned about that double bottom because it's not like they're that significant of swings right there. You have a much more major magnet, but anyway, we do end up finding some resistance there, but so anyway, I missed out on that. But this downtrend here, we have a break, new low right here, and then we have a second push out a new low. So you can see downtrend break, first attempt lower, and then we have that second attempt lower. And then on that second attempt lower, if you could have found an entry there, then I would have liked it. But I don't like how there was just 2 legs up, pushing kind of far above the EMA, and then it didn't even close below the EMA. Now, you can still look for an entry to make that second leg down there, but considering this downtrend has a break and a new low, and then it's pushing above the EMA, unable to close back below, that's a sign that you may reverse. So, that's why I don't like that short. So we do push down here though, and we start getting choppy at this overnight high again. We push lower in, we get this retest right there. It's just a first entry on that end, and then it's not even a failed second entry on the other side of the count, because this right here is that second leg down right there. So I'm not going to count this as like a failed second entry to take. But anyway, so we push up here. We just kind of bounce out of nowhere. We get back above the EMA and get back above the overnight high. We go into this range right here. We break out. Now, this right here, the longs are trying to fade this small range right here. The bears are trying to fade this larger range right here. We did just have a bounce to the bullish side in the range, and so that's the first sign of a bullish imbalance. But this entry right here is not good enough. Doji bar after a huge sharp push below the overnight, back into the overnight high. That's a sign of fading the larger magnet right here, because the reason I'm saying magnet is because these key levels act as magnets. Prices are attracted to them. They try to retest them, and so yeah, we have a larger range trying to fade to the bear side, and we have a huge strong bearish push back in, and then we don't close back out. So that's why I don't like that. And then by the time you close up here, there's no room to this resistance up here. You'd put your stop all the way down here. Look how far you'd be pushing that out. So we continue up higher here. We get these couple legs up. And then after you get those couple legs up, that'd be a good place to look for a long. Let me adjust my trend line really quick to how it was. I was trying to see if there was something like this. Now, we push up here. We get a slight overshoot. We get these 2 legs back. This isn't like a terrible entry. I didn't take it because I had some concerns of this uptrend high, and what I mean by that is when you come off one side of a trend, prices are expected to reach the other side with 2 attempts, and we did get those 2 attempts, but I kind of viewed it as just going sideways and then only getting one real attempt, but I may have misread that. It is, you can still see those two legs back, because you can trade congestion as long as you know what's going on. And, I might not have just paid close enough attention, but you can see those two legs back right there, and then you do get this bar off of the EMA. The EMA held twice right there, so I do think this looks like a decent trade, but I was a bit distracted. I kind of just viewed that as congestion and then one push down, but and one other concern would be a measured move higher here, but I'm pretty sure it's met like perfectly. And so even if you do have a measured move higher here, if you can get 2 clear attempts lower, then it'd be good, but it is pretty choppy given it's at a measured move. That is also one of the reasons I avoided it. So it's not a terrible entry. You can clearly see that second entry holding on the EMA, but there's a few things that make it less probable, so I just skipped out on it. Now we push up higher here, and we start getting choppy at these highs. You don't want to just go short. You can see, first entry short, second entry short, and then it's not off of any important key levels here, and it's not like I'm going to be concerned about fading down this very small range against the bias, which is clearly up. I mean, we have this early bounce in this range to the bullish side. We basically just had a two-legged retest of the overnight high and bounced out. We did, of course, get through, but that's essentially how it's acting as. 2 legs down, retesting, pushing up. So that's bullish momentum. I'm not going to enter short on that. Of course, it does push on down, though, but then here we get a break. So this uptrend gets a break. It didn't confirm off this side here, or even on this side. It had this one bounce here, and then it did have a second bounce, but that's starting to get to the point where it's an overshoot. And so anyway, we break here, we push on up. Unfortunately, there's no clear entry. You don't want to enter on this below the EMA, clearly still pushing in this downtrend. So what I was hoping for is push above, failed second entry. That'd be the most ideal entry, of course, but we just push on up and we make a new high for this uptrend. So notice this high up here, we're now making a double top. And so when we make a double top, of course, we can expect a possible reversal pattern, which you can see technically happened there, but it's so choppy. There's no clean entry on this. You can see first entry long, second entry long, failure. Way too sideways, not good. You don't know it's going to go down because of that. So anyway, we push on lower here, and then here we finally get another trade. So this has good context for a short. You can expect to attempt to retest these lows down here. Now, it's a big picture failed second entry, and I saw someone, who was it? I think it was like Persephone in the Discord. I just went through the Discord before this video. I saw they were mentioning this looks like a reversal pattern. Or, excuse me, not a reversal pattern, a repeat pattern. That's what I meant to say. They said it looks like a repeat pattern. Now, it actually is also a reversal pattern from this up move, but anyway, so because a repeat pattern, of course, is just an entry that looks almost the same as another entry. Now, what do we have here? We have 2 legs up, pushing out of the overnight high, and then we get a big picture reversal pattern right here. Now, what do we get here? Same thing. We're pushing out of the overnight, 2 legs up, we're making a double top there, we're getting this reversal pattern right after. That is basically the exact same trade. Now, this did set up pretty good. The bearishness of the bar shooting below the EMA does have a lot to do with this trade here. Clearly that measured move is beyond met, and then it just rushes below with that failed second entry. That looks great. But let's just pretend for a second that this setup not so great. Let's just say it's set up not so great. As long as it's a reversal pattern, it still adds probability. So if you have a, I didn't mean to say, I said reversal pattern again just now. I meant to say repeat pattern again, sorry. So if you have a repeat pattern and it didn't set up quite as good, it's not like a perfect setup, that it's still likely to be good because repeat patterns are more likely to work out. I can't say I know why, but if you just go through your charts, study your charts, and notice the repeat patterns. They are very important, and they oftentimes don't have to be as good of a setup in order for you to take them safely, just because of the mere fact that they're a repeat pattern. So anyway, but with that being said, this actually did set up pretty good. It's a pretty nice looking reversal pattern. You know, so uptrend, break, new high. You go into this failed second entry reversal pattern. That looks good to me. And yeah, target is just 1-to-1, and yeah, because we had this possible uptrend forming there, so you don't want to push it too far. And then also it started forming these lows right there at the same time, so you don't want to push your targets too far all the time. So anyway, we do bounce up here. We're in this uptrend right here. We have this 1, 2, 3 bounces right there. Pretty clear. So then when you push up here, once again, you'd like to see a failed second entry, push above, and then 2 legs back off the EMA. Now, this isn't a perfect looking setup here. You have good context for a reversal pattern, you know, for a failed second entry. But you have this uptrend, break, new high, and then you rush below the EMA. So that's not what you want to see in a reversal pattern, even though we closed back above the EMA there. I don't care. You know, it was getting choppy, and then when it made a break in a new high, and then a big rush below, closing on their lows, that's really a bad sign for a reversal pattern to go higher there. You want to see bullish, you know, bullishness in your entry, not huge bear bars shooting below the EMA. So anyway, we do end up working up here, and yeah, I haven't really been trading in the last 40 minutes or so I haven't looked at a lot of this yet. But so we have these couple legs up here. So after we push up from that failed second entry, we can see this. And so first leg up, break, second leg up. It was getting clearly very resistance right there, so you don't want to enter on this bar right there. We push up, and then we get this first entry long. Of course, that's not enough. Then we get this higher low, a complete doji bar. You don't want to enter on that. We continue higher. We reach that measured move. As soon as we reach it, we rush below the EMA. And so when you get something like this, you're clearly going into an uptrend, but you have plenty of room to the bearish side, you know, to this trend line if you so need. So you can, So you can enter a short if you get one with room to this trend line here, but you know, you just remember you are going into this uptrend, so watch your target. Don't go past 1-to-1. But so that's where you would that's what I would be looking for here. But we do rush back above the EMA, so then we push above, we get this higher low. You can see to the count it's like first entry long, and then we start getting the second leg, and so it's like a second entry, but we're pushing too far below the EMA and not closing back above it enough, so I don't like that right there. And then here, as you can see, it's like a failed second entry, but it's going into this right here. It's pretty obvious, so I would stay out of that for sure. You don't want to enter right into range highs like that. So anyway, we get to those range highs, we push off of them, we get this lower high right here. Of course, it's right into these range lows right here, and to the other side of the count, it's a higher low. But there's no reason to go long there. It didn't set up well to go long, and it didn't set up well to go short, so there's no reason to enter that. We push out here. We just broke this channel. Whoops, again, I keep skipping back. We break out, and so then we're pushing up. It looks like price may attempt a new high. So if we rush above the EMA, once again, a failed second entry in this area, that could be very good for a long if it sets up well. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Hope this helped in some way. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time.